Do you take notes? If you're a student and you are a student of English, you probably have to take some notes. Um, there are many problems with taking notes, though. When I was a student in high school and university, you know, I would have books and you'd underline things and make notes and use a marker pen, cross them out, and then make notes in the margin of the book, and maybe copy them onto a notebook and have great piles of notes. And then what would I do? I'd try to memorize these notes, and it wasn't a very good system. Maybe I would remember some things, but often now I look at some books that I had when I was a student, and I don't know why I was underlining. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why is that underlined? You know. So I think making notes is kind of a broken system. But you are a kind of student. Maybe you are a student, or you are certainly learning English, so you're a student in that way. And I'm sure that there are times when you need to make notes. Probably a good idea to make vocabulary notes or grammar notes. But once you have those notes, what do you do with them? Do you just keep them in a notebook? Are they all separate? The idea here is the value is when you can link certain notes together. And I think with English, learning a language, you might want to, put notes together maybe based on theme or topic. So like all notes to do with, like if you're studying literature or books, notes about words like character, words like motivation, words like plot, and all of those words that were used to describe a book. Maybe you'd put those together. Or another system, maybe you'd think of something, I don't know, but this is the point. Um, Often when we make notes, we don't know how we're going to use them in the future. And this can be a problem. This system here called making smart notes is supposed to be a way of learning something now and storing it ready to make connections in the future, even when you don't know what connections they will be. It's kind of like making your own little internet. Now, this might sound really horrible to you, or maybe interesting. I don't know. We'll see if we can do this. At the end of this little chat, I'll show you my notes to try and show you an example of how it works. Or maybe you think it doesn't work. I don't know. Okay, so this lesson, I'm going to give you 3 tips for how to keep smart notes. Over time, will become a system. If you follow these suggestions, you could either keep these notes on index cards, or actually keep a database on a computer, which is easier to do, I think. We'll come to that at the end. Okay, the idea is number 1, you scribble a rough note whenever you have inspiration. Maybe you're sitting on the bus or you're in the bath and you suddenly have a thought, oh, I wonder if something. Maybe you're thinking, um, I don't know. Let's use art as an example. Let's say, imagine you're thinking, oh, I really like the color red. Red makes me feel happy. I'm going to write that down. Red makes me feel happy. That will be your basic note when you get out of the bath. Number 2, write a slightly more detailed literature note with page references or web links and quotes if you find something interesting. This assumes that you're reading books and you find something interesting. Maybe you find a quote about the color red. Oh, so and so said red is da 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 da. Oh, you write that down and you note what book you got it from or what link on the internet you got it from. Then the hard part is number 3, is you turn these notes into permanent notes, where you think deeply about what are the main elements of this thing that you have learned, and then link it to how it relates to other things. So in this example, maybe you write, oh, I like red, makes me feel good. And then you find another quote, red is the feeling of desire. Oh, that's interesting. So I'm comparing those two. And then you maybe make a third note where, I don't know, you link it together. I'm not making much sense, am I? But the idea is you're getting ready to make connections in the future that you maybe don't know yet. So the next time you find a note about red, oh, shirts that are red sell 25% more than shirts that are blue. I don't know if that's true, but maybe if you read that somewhere, you could then link that. And, oh, this is interesting. You don't know what you will find out in the future, so you just keep some ideas simple and then link them later. You're wondering, what are you talking about, Mr. Sheriff? Okay, let me link to my database that I've got here, and I'll show you. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Okay, I got a system called the Archive, which is a very simple database here. I've got nothing selected here. There was a book that I wrote. No, I didn't write. I read about art. Let me get that mixed up a bit bigger here. Here we go. Okay. So I read a book about art, and it was called Picture This. It's a very good book. And so I've found this where everything is picture this. These are all the notes I made on the book. And if I click on one, it will have some notes. These are all different notes. I'm just going up and down here, the things that I found. Let's go with, I guess, the first one. The first note, I was reading this about art, and it said, horizontal shapes in pictures make us feel calm and stable. It's moving around. Okay. Oh, really? That's interesting. So that's just one idea. And I've called this composition. This is about how to make a picture. And this is art. This is the number of the note. This is the simple idea. Horizontal shapes, shapes that are like that, make us feel calm and stable. Huh, really? Contrast that with verticals. Okay, I'm going to click on that. It's going to take me to this one. Oh, vertical shapes and pictures grab our attention as they defy gravity. They're exciting and more active. That's interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to go back. I'll go back to what I had before. Okay, that's interesting, but maybe nothing special. Okay, I've got other ones in this book. Oh, diagonal shapes in pictures bring movement and tension to a picture. Oh, okay. Well, I can compare that to verticals and horizontals. Oh, compare with increasing space to add tension. Okay, I'm going to compare that. Oh, no, let's see. This is connected to tension. Space in a picture is a stand-in for time. I don't know. This is very complicated English, but I hope you see what I've done is I've taken one note and then later I've thought about how it links to something else. Let's see. Tension. Oh, what's this one? This is a tension. Diagonal shapes cause tension. Okay, we'll go back to that. So I hope you see that I've created like a little mini internet here. I haven't actually practiced what I was going to show you, so this might not make much sense. But anyway, let's see. Well, this is all about art. Oh, I'm going to click on here. Let's see, art. These are all the files and notes I've made on art. So I'm trying to learn about art. Let's click on one at random. That's a book review. Art drawing. No, these are book reviews. I don't want to do a book review exactly. There's another book review. Wow, too many book reviews. Art. Okay. Oh, here's a rule: atmospheric or aerial perspective. And what that is. Compare with placing objects higher in the picture plane. Okay, compare that. Oh, that's over here. Perspective. Oh, let's have a look at perspective. Let's see, what have I got here? Oh. I don't want to keep reading it. Lots of this English is quite difficult. But I hope you can see that what the idea is, you take one idea that you've noticed, link to it with the themes up here, and then a specific thing where you compare or you contrast. And in theory, you can follow something through the threads, and you are making your own kind of internet. It works well if you take many, many notes and you revise them and you look over them. Many of my notes I didn't revise because I'm too busy. But the idea is that you make your own connections. So it's your own personal internet. So the next time you have to write an essay, say about art, you just open up all of your files on art, click, and you've got to write about composition. Okay, click on composition, and you can see how things relate together. And cut and paste, and you've made yourself an essay. Or for me, I'm not writing essays about it, but I'm just trying to teach myself about art. So, and I don't have a real point in the end. I'm not trying to make an argument in an essay. like a university essay. I just want to know more. That's the idea of smart notes. So taking one idea and linking in the future to further ideas. And eventually you have a whole database. Wow. Okay. Let me stop sharing that. Okay. Close that down. Let's see. I've got 3 questions for you. I know this is very complicated, I know, but number 1, how do you usually take notes? Number 2, what are the advantages and disadvantages of the smart note system? That's the system I'm just using here. And number 3, what could you use the smart notes system for? How could you use this kind of making notes? Wow. Have a go. Have a think about that. And I'll see if you can come up with some answers. Okay. Thank you for listening. I hope I wasn't too confusing. Smart notes? What?